Good morning, students. In previous class, I have explained the concepts related to force and laws of motion. As a part of recapitulation, once again, I am going to remind all the Newton laws of motion. First of all, I am going to explain Newton's first law. Newton's first law states that every object continues to be rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless external forces acted. So that means every object tends to be rest or motion unless external force acted. From Newton's first law of motion, we can easily say that object gets balanced force, so net force equal to 0, and finally objects moves with constant speed. From Newton's first law of motion, one important property we already discussed, that is nothing but inertia. What is inertia? The property that opposes change in state. And Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion gives the force equation F equal to ma. Newton's second law of motion states that when force acted on the object gets acceleration. The acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass and directly proportional to the applied force. So this is the Newton's second law of motion. When force is acted on the object gets acceleration which is directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the mass and gives the equation F equal to ma. From Newton's second law of motion, one important word is derived, that is momentum. What is momentum? When m mass of the object which is moving with v velocity, it creates some impact. The impact is nothing but momentum. Mathematically, momentum is defined the product of mass and velocity. So momentum means mass into velocity, the product of mass and velocity. Momentum is indicated by the letter P, P equal to mv. And the units mass kg and velocity meter by second. Kg meter by second is the unit. And Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So action equal to minus reaction. That is Newton's third law. Based on Newton's third law, the motion of the racket in previous video I have explained. So motion of the rackets and bullet and recoil and the next one walking. These all are the best examples of Newton's third law. And as a part of application of Newton's third law, I have explained the law of conservation of momentum. What is conservation of momentum explains. In an isolated system where there is no external force, the total momentum remains conserved. The activity, two spherical objects having the masses m1, m2, moving with velocities u1, u2. After collision, their velocities changes, those are v1, v2. Here two spherical objects are moving in straight line and same direction. Another equation is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. The total momentum before collision equal to total momentum after collision. Now I am going to explain Newton's first law of motion with the help of Newton's second law of motion. Of course, it is additional information. I am going to explain Newton's first law of motion with the help of Newton's second law. According to Newton's second law of motion, Newton's second law of motion gives the equation F equal to ma. Already you know. Now Let us assume that there is no external force. So F equal to 0. F equal to 0. So MA equal to 0. F means MA. Substitute MA equal to 0. And A equal to 0 by M. 0 by M means 0. So acceleration you are getting 0. So once again, Newton's second law F equal to MA. Let us assume that F equal to 0, MA equal to 0 and A equal to 0. The value A equal to 0, I am going to substitute from equation of motion number 1, that is V equal to U plus AT. While I am going to substitute V equal to U plus AT, what I am getting? V equal to U plus 0 into T and V equal to U. That means object is moving constant speed. And today, once again, we are going to discuss the units of force. Force can be measured Newton and another unit is dyne. Newton is one system, that is MKS system, and dyne is CGS system. 1 Newton equal to 10 power 5 dynes. How we can prove? Take the equation F equal to MA. Apply MKS units, SI units. Force can be measured in Newton and mass kg and acceleration meter by second square. This is equation number 1. Number 2, CGS system I am going to apply. Force is measured in dyne, mass grams and acceleration centimeter by second square. Dyne equal to gram into centimeter by second square. Equation number 2. We already know that 1 kg equal to 1000 grams, that equal to 10 cube grams. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters, that equal to 10 square centimeter. These two values I am going to substitute into equation number 1. What we have taken? Newton equal to kg into meter by second square. I am going to substitute 1 kg equal to 10 cube grams, 1 meter equal to 10 square centimeters into equation 1. So I substituted in the place of kg 10 cube grams and meter 10 square centimeters. So base are equal, so power should be added 10 power 3 plus 2. 10 power 5 into gram into centimeter by second square. We already know that gram into centimeter by second square means dyne. This is equation number 2. What we said. So finally what you got? 1 Newton equal to 10 power 5 dynes. And next, problem solving. So here problem is, which would require a greater force accelerating a 2 kg mass at 5 meter by second square or 4 kg mass at 2 meter by second square. Here given conditions 2. One is acceleration at 2 kg mass at 5 meter by second square and 1 kg mass at 2 meter by second square. First one, mass m1 is given 2 kg and acceleration is 5 meter by second square. Condition 2, m2 equal to 4 kg and acceleration is 2 meter by second square. So condition 1, can you calculate F1? Yes, you can easily calculate F1. F1 equal to m1 a1. Substitute 2 into 5, 10 newtons. Condition number 2, you can calculate F2. F2 means m2 into a2. m2 means 4 into 2, 8 newtons. Finally, F1 is more than of F2. Now, additional information, F equal to ma, I am going to derive in differentiation method, which is in the part of calculation. In intermediate, you will observe d by dt. What is the meaning of d by dt? It is the change, the rate of change in one kind of physical quantity. We know that Newton's second law, the force is directly proportional the rate of change in momentum. Change in momentum. So rate of change is nothing but in calculation calculus part differentiation, that is d by dt. So F is directly proportional d by dt of momentum symbol P. And change into equation F equal to K, constant into d by dt of P. K is the proportionality constant. Let us take the unit value K equal to 1, then F equal to 1 into d by dt of P. D by dt means the rate of change. So finally the equation what you are getting, F equal to dp by dt. P means already you know that P is momentum. So d by dt of P, momentum formula you can substitute P equal to mv. But in the universe m is constant. So take m into dv by dt. dv by dt means d by dt means the rate of change. V means velocity. Rate of change in velocity is nothing but acceleration. Finally what you are getting, F equal to ma. Thank you.